This is a 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser FZJ80, and it is literally cherry. So not only is the color red pearl, but this Land Cruiser is in excellent shape. 112,000 miles, and it is for sale. So I'm going to go over this entire vehicle, go for a little run, test drive that is, and let you know the price with all the gear. So two prices, the price with all the gear and the price without the gear. And by gear, it's roof rack and up, so everything on that roof rack. You can minus some things and I'll credit you. And there's a drawer system in the back. We'll look at that in a second. Amazing drawer system. It's all brand new. That roof rack, all the gear I put on here is new, and it has a Old Man Emu 2-inch suspension. We're going to look at that too. So 112,000 miles. I got to tell you, I've had many 80 series, 100 series. I mean, you know me, Cruising the Land. That's my whole YouTube channel's Land Cruisers because I love them. And I always have to have one on hand that I'm just, you know, detailing it, bringing it back to life, bringing it back to its original glory days. And this one, I did not have to do much. It is pristine, right down to the wheels. It doesn't have any of that worming, as you know. So super clean wheels. I mean, it's been California its whole life, so it's rust-free, it's accident-free, it has the original running boards. Usually, I take the running boards off. I didn't because they're just straight and perfect. They don't have those little, you know how they bulge sometimes? So it is a specimen, definitely. So in 1994, it's the FZJ engine, right? So that's the 212, the engine you want, you know, from 93 through 97. This does not have the airbags. That starts in 95, which some people like that. And it's got the chrome on the bumpers. So right here, chrome. Now the red pearl came with gold accents. So this is super fresh. I actually sanded this all down and brought it back to the original, like repainted it. This is plasti dip, so you can peel this off and get gold. So anybody who buys this, if they want to get that original gold back, they can do so. The other place that there is gold, I just didn't want to have gold on this truck. I wanted to keep it red and, you know, the chrome. So the other place is here. That's plasti dip. It's a really good job of plasti dip. Lots of coats. Same thing here and same thing here. So that was the gold badging. Probably a $500 option back in the day just to have that stuff in gold. Go figure. But it's gold underneath. Perfectly preserved if whoever wants to change that. So let's do a walk around. Let's take a look at it. She is beautiful. This, by the way, is just my little touch. I like putting the Toyota 3 stripes, but instead of doing yellow, orange, red, I kind of have a nice play with it. That is 3M wrap, just like they wrap cars, you know, Teslas and Ferraris, and you can just peel that off, and the red paint is underneath. All right, it has 33-inch tires, or better yet, the 285 75 16s. They are the Wild Peak Falcons, and there is tons and tons of tread, as you can see. They're literally 90%, 95% left. Tons of tread. Go look around at all of them. Tons of tread. And like I said, the wheels a little dirty. Sorry, should have cleaned that. But you see, this is where you can get worming, where it starts to get under the clear coat. None whatsoever. Those wheels are immaculate. Oh, the suspension. Old Man Emu. So that's like a 2-inch, 2.5-inch lift. Let's take a look underneath. Super duper clean as can be. Bumpers. I did not refinish the bumpers. They're bumpers, right? So someone might want to put a steel bumper, or you can simply refinish, but to me they were in very good shape, and I didn't feel they needed to be repainted. Let's get underneath the back, see what we can see. But this aluminum plate, completely polished, looking good. The back cross member, looking good. That got polished up, compounded. underneath, as you can see, clean as can be. California, we don't salt our roads, so they always look good. So let's take a look at the interior, right? Because there was leather in these Land Cruisers, but some have the upholstery. And this upholstery, I gotta say, even though I did shampoo them, I didn't need to. I just did it because just to go through the process in case there was any dirt. I actually did have like a dirty spot in the back where probably kids were sitting. But look at that upholstery. That kind of like two-tone, there's a little bit of red in it, if you can pick that up. You see that? Like the little specks. We zoom in, look at that camera. God, my camera's good. Anyhow, I digress. Samsung Ultra 22. But look how clean that back is. Okay. But then the front, that's where people sit and do a lot of the wear and tear. So let's take a look at the front. Oh, well, voila. Just as nice as the second row. Look at that. Amazing. Wait. There we go. I have to get that speck off. Same thing here. Center console, all black. Oh, and again, the dash, 0 cracks. Perfect condition. Oh, Rosen visors. So it has both the Rosen visors. I haven't peeled off the paper off that side, but these are amazing. You know, in lieu of the sun visors usually get droop just the way they made them. So this is a great way to create more headspace. And speaking of headspace, if you're 6 foot, 6'2", and you're like, man, I want a Land Cruiser, but I don't fit. Little inside tip for you, get upholstery, because you can put the seat further back than what the electric seats do. So you can get further back and then create a lot more headroom by taking this off. I'm like right at 6 and I sit in here very comfortably, and I think I have more room to go back. And for me, I like to put my seat up so I have less bend in my legs and sit up even taller. You know, put your seat up an inch and then you don't have to get an extra inch lift in your truck. You actually feel like it's lifted. So that's super clean. Let's take a look at the engine bay, shall we? And that roof rack, we'll talk about that in a second. There we go. So I don't spit shine my engines. This is as is, but you can see just very clean in the engine bay. No leaks whatsoever. Just super nice. Even up there. So just dirty. If someone wants to detail that, they can, but original paint, good old Toyota stickers, everything excellent. We'll start her up, we'll go for a little ride, but let me show you the back now. Just get this shut. Okay, in the back, oh, let me back up. I did not order the red paint yet, so this is just one scratch back here, unfortunately. So it can just use a little bit of touch-up paint to mask that a little bit. So, you know, when you're almost 30 years old, there's got to be 1 or 2 little scars that you got throughout your life. All right, that is one of the extras. That's a brand new APL 55 by Iceco. Literally amazing dual fridge. So when you go on adventures with your kids, guess what? Bring ice cream. If you want your kids to get into overlanding, bring some treats, and you can bring both a frozen section in here. So I haven't even used it yet, so this would be available for the person purchasing. But you see that little split cover there? So that's freezer and fridge, and that's probably the power cord right there. So these are awesome. And this, the APL 55, so it's like 55 liter basically, is brand new on the market. So this is brand spanking new. 2023 is when they came out. So look at that drawer system. This is the Rugged Bound from Big Country. They make it for the 80 series. So even if you don't buy this 80 and you want this, call me. I work with them. I'm in Southern Cal, so shipping, this goes on a pallet, so shipping is expensive. You can get free shipping to Southern California, to a local garage where we can even install it for you. But these are phenomenal. Click it open, slide it, all that room. Nice little separator here too. Separate your gear. Look at that. Slide all the way close. And you can lock it if you like. And then here you have your sides, so you can put more gear. Oh yeah, I'm going to add the condition of the carpet underneath this, by the way. I took a video, so whoever buys this, I can share it with them, is exactly like this. Just perfect condition. Backs of the seats, perfect. Now when you fold that seat down, it creates a nice platform so you can sleep on it. So that is great as well. So if you're interested, let me know, call me up. We'll get you hooked up with that. Now let's look at the roof rack. So the roof rack, Big Country. Let me actually climb up there. As you can see, the bars go north to south, and there's cross members. So this thing is super heavy duty. You can get 3 200-pound guys standing on this. So that means you can put a rooftop tent with your family and have a family of 4 up there, plus your dogs, you name it. So you see the cross member here. So there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cross members. So think most racks, like a Prinsu or a front runner, they just have the bars going across. That's it. So you get flex. This has cross members and this bar going end to end, sitting at 5 points, not bridging from east to west, if that makes sense. So this is top of the line roof rack. Now up there, I have ActionTrax. So I rep these. If you're ever interested, let me know. I put yellow zinc. I have them in all colors. I just put orange here because I think it plays off the colors really nicely. The orange lights up front. Those are Zarges cases up top, the K470s. So I have those for a pretty good deal included in this vehicle, or you can minus them out. But it just gives, just to give you an idea what you can put up there. And then that is a 23.0. ActionTrax can actually even go in there. And that's an awesome case as well. I have a video, like subscribe to my channel. You'll see stuff on cases, on boards, on how to detail your truck, how to clean this up, because that aluminum kick plate, you can polish it up. So I got videos on all this stuff. If you don't buy this rig and you get another 80, trust me, you will get lots of pro tips from my channel. It's all Land Cruisers. So, and a little bit of other trucks here and there sometimes. A Defender, or a Range Rover, or what have you. But mostly Land Cruisers. So what else can I say about this? It just rolled over 12,000 miles, like 2 days ago. So at 12,000, 112,000, I should say. 112,000. As I was pulling into my driveway, it went click. It did that one click over, and I was like, I should have filmed that. That was cool. But yeah, I must say, I'm going to save this for our drive. When we go drive around, I will talk about how this drives, because it is really something special. And I've driven lots of these. I've driven these with King shocks and Icon Stage 3 and factory. Actually, I drove this factory. I put that suspension on it, and I was so worried because it drove so perfectly factory. But I feel these Land Cruisers need a 2-inch lift. 2-inch lift is the sweet spot and looks perfect. So let's jump in, go for a ride, and I'll share with you exactly how this drives. Okay, and before we go for that ride, let's turn the engine over so you can give her a listen. Oh, where's my turning signal on? So there's my miles, as you can see. So 15,000 over 112,000. But she purrs like a kitten. So let's now see how it rides, and it literally floats. So having driven a lot of Land Cruisers at 250,000 miles, at 300,000 miles, a lot of them still drive good at that point. But sometimes there's like bushings that you need to change in the suspension. So because I put this suspension in, brand new bushings all around. But even at the, when I first got it, so I put maybe 2,000 miles on this, it had the Michelin Defender tires, which are phenomenal tires. The new Michelin Defenders, so smooth. And the original suspension, when I drove it, I actually drove it to go pick up the wheels that are on it now, and I had to go like, I don't know, 80 miles going on the highway at night. And I was just listening to the tape deck because it's got the original. Must have new speakers because you can crank this. We'll crank it in a bit. So I pulled out my old tapes, because you can do CD, tapes, and radio. So I was playing some old tapes, so nostalgic, going back in time, just loving life. And I was driving this, and my kind of aha moment was, I'm cruising, I'm going 80 miles an hour, like super easy, and cruising beside a Cadillac, a brand new Cadillac Escalade. And I was like, you know what? That Escalade, it's new, it's got all the latest, greatest technology, probably a phenomenal suspension. But I was thinking to myself, there's no way with his 22 or 23 inch wheels and my 16 inch wheels with all that rubber, my coil spring, full axle, body on frame truck is probably driving just as smooth. Because, your tires, when you have that much wall, that in itself is a little bit of suspension. Plus that factory suspension that was in here was just phenomenal. Then I thought to myself, however, if there was an earthquake and we both had to take a hard right and start hitting, the mountains and trails, I'll dominate that guy. Like, I'm gone and he's having problems, because this is a Land Cruiser, the last of the great solid axle Land Cruisers, full floating solid axles, right? So just great truck. So my fear was, okay, I'm gonna lift this. Do I really want to do that? Because this is driving so amazing. But I did anyways, and then I was so anxious for that first drive, and when I drove it, I said, you know what? It is just as good. I'm not gonna say it's better. I can't say it was better, but it was definitely not worse, because how do you get worse than, or how do you get better than 10 out of 10, right? So it was just as good, and I was blown away, and I was so happy because, it's got AT tires on it now, as it should. It's a Land Cruiser, 33s, and a new suspension. But the suspension with new bushings and all, that's another reason why it's just so smooth. So this truck drives amazing. Anybody local wants to come test drive it, we're gonna go, and you can take corners at speed, and this thing just tracks, and you could take a speed bump or a big dip in the road, or some of those driveways or going into the mall has like a big dip and you see scrapes from people hitting their bumpers. You can take that at speed and the truck just goes boop, 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 boop. You just hear the tires, you hear nothing else but just boop, 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 boop. It's amazing. They just don't make them like this anymore. Yeah, as you know, the 80 series Land Cruiser, the engine and all, it's been built to be rebuilt 3 times. And they usually should last about 400,000 or 500,000 miles before rebuilds, because the block is so solid. So if you think about that, this has 112,000 miles. It's not even at its quarter life, or 20% of its life for, and I'm gonna have the camera down because that sun's coming in strong. Or actually, there you go. That's the Rosen visors. How nice is that, right? So that's what it looks like through the Rosen visor. So just, this truck is gonna last. So the key is, when you get an 80 series, get a clean body, clean frame, rust free. That's the key. If you're in a rust belt state, by all means, please store it in the wintertime. Don't let salt hit these. Salt is not kind to the metal frame of Title Land Cruisers. All right, that's just a fact. So keep it off of salt roads, especially this one. This is a gem. This needs to stay, well, again, if it's a SoCal, no problem. If this is going to New York, Connecticut, or somewhere else, please store it in the garage, because this is a specimen. This is a curated, amazing LandCruiser. Truly is. Let me get the tape deck. So you can imagine that night when I was cruising to pick up those wheels, I was just vibing, cranking old tunes, digging it. It was so much fun. So I hope whoever gets this is gonna pull out some old tapes. Hopefully it's someone not so young that they're like, a tape, what's that? So hang on, I gotta punch in my code to get that gate open. There we go. All right, so now we need to get to the price, right? That's what you've been waiting for. So let me tell you the price with all the gear, right? Because that drawer system back there, it's over $2,000. The roof rack is $1,600. That's before shipping it on a pallet and everything. The Zargaze cases, they're like $400 each, but I'm kind of giving a volume discount for all this. ActionTrax are $400 plus shipping and tax. I sell them for $340, so I'm giving that deal with the Yellow Zinc. If you want those ActionTrax and you don't buy this truck, I have lots in stock. That fridge, the APL, I paid, you know, just over $600, so it'd be the same price because it's never been used. So if you get everything on this truck, the price is $37,900. And some of you might say like, oh wow, that's a lot. Okay, don't take all that extra gear, and it's $32,900. $32,900, $5,000 off if you don't take that gear. And guess what? You can call me in the future and you can add that gear as you go, as you need it. So $32,900. Sorry, as I pull back home, you're gonna see some LandCruisers. This is my collection. I just got that 200 series there. I have a 2008 currently for sale, but there's a couple people looking at it. That's an HJ61. That's Green Machine, my FJ40. Behind this, we have my my other FZJ80 Otis with 178,000 miles. And I have to admit, doesn't drive as nice as this. It doesn't, but it's too late. I've poured like 25G into that build on that truck. So it is my keeper, but again, I always like to have an 80 that I can play with and enjoy. And again, this one, as you can see, is just pristine through and through. The Rosen visor. If you don't want the Rosen visor, that's part of the 37,900. The 32,900 doesn't include Rosen visors. The Rosen visors are $285. Well, actually, they're $300 now, but you get 5% off with my code. I'm going to put a link in my description to a lot of the stuff that I kind of find and share with my followers. So subscribe for sure. If you know whether you buy this or not, doesn't matter. Subscribe. Your journey's taking you to a LandCruiser, and you're going to want to see stuff I post over the years because I'm very active. You know, in the LandCruiser community and with my cruiser. So 37,900 with all the gear, 32,900 with no gear, meaning roof rack and all the stuff on it, the Rosen visors, the fridge, and the drawer system in the back. And I do have the third row seats, by the way. So third row seats do come in this rig. Even the carpets. Look how clean that is. Excuse my feet, let me get them out of the way. Look how clean that is. All right, so that is it. Hopefully you reach out to me on time. I don't know how long this would stay on the market. Someone who wants a super clean, they're so hard to come by, obviously can pick this up. So, and I was just going to say, you know, could I have put this on Bring a Trailer and let people bid it up? Sure. But I'm all about let someone who really wants to get a LandCruiser get this, enjoy it, and, you know, get it for a fair price, because I definitely think that is a fair price. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and happy trails. And hit me up. It's my email's cruisingtheland@gmail.com, and I'll put those details in the description below. All right, happy trails. Whoop. Thanks for watching.